Hi, I'm Gina Luciani, and today I'm going to be showing you the Woodify rings for flute. Woodify is such a game changer for your sound as a flute player. If you are new to Woodify, the easiest way of describing what Woodify rings do for your flute is increase both the projection and the volume of your sound. In this video, I will be concentrating on the Woodify rings for the C flute. They are also offered for the alto flute and the bass flute. So if you're interested in learning more about those, go to the Woodify website, which is linked in the description below. So let's first talk about how the Woodify rings actually work. This is the description from the Woodify inventor, Ale. Woodify is applied to the head joint of the instrument, and it physically damps the tube of the instrument at a precise spot. This damping increases the resistance of the instrument. The higher the resistance, as you might experience with gold flutes, makes the sound more compact and allows you to play with more air, thus increasing the projection. Woodify works as a tone centerer. It intensifies the harmonics of the flute sound. At the same time, it partially reduces some of the air noise. The sound might therefore feel more centered, focused, and sometimes darker. Woodify should give you the feeling of playing on a heavier instrument. For instance, playing on a gold instrument as opposed to a silver instrument. Let's first learn how to apply the Woodify ring to your head joint. First, you're going to want to unscrew it slightly, not completely. Apply it to this part of your head joint right here, and make sure that the screw is facing backwards. So like this, right here, backwards. And then you're going to tighten it, just like that. I would highly suggest experimenting with the placement of the Woodify ring, so you can either have it slightly further down or slightly further up, as well as the tightness of the screw, and both of those will alter the sound. Now, a lot of accessories that you place on your instrument will scratch your flute, so you might be wondering, will the Woodify ring scratch my flute as well? Now, I was told by the inventor Ale that he put a lot of care into creating the Woodify ring to make sure that it didn't scratch the flute. Of course, you need to be very careful when applying the Woodify ring to your flute, but as long as you're careful, it shouldn't scratch your flute. Woodify rings come in a variety of wood types, and each has a unique sound. Woodify has an amazing tool on their website that I would highly recommend that you try out. On the website, it recommends the best wood type for your instrument depending on if it is silver plated, silver, or gold. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what do the Woodify rings sound like? I'm going to do a demo to tell you what I'm experiencing as a player, and I'm going to be demoing both the Beechwood as well as the Walnut. I'm first going to play the flute without a Woodify ring so that we can hear what it sounds like before and after. And let me tell you a little bit about the instrument that I will be playing. This is a Miyazawa. The head joint is sterling silver with a 14-karat gold lip plate and riser, and the body is also sterling silver with a silver-plated mechanism. One thing to keep in mind is that there will be more resistance when you use a Woodify ring, which means that you will need to use more air while playing. Just like you would need to experiment with a new flute or a new flute head joint to see what works best for you, you will need to do the exact same thing with the Woodify ring. Let's test it out and see what it sounds like. I will first be demoing the Walnut ring. So right off the bat, the flute feels so much more open. It also has a lot more volume, and it's very easy to play in the low register. Let me play it a little bit more for you. That interval is so easy to play with this. Normally, you have to worry about cracking without the Woodify ring, and with the ring, I find it so much easier to play that interval and in between the two different registers. It already improves the sound of this flute so much. Let's try adjusting this a little bit more to see what happens when I do that. So I'm going to loosen it a little bit and move it down just slightly on the head joint, and now we're going to tighten it again. Let's try it out and see what I think. I feel like that in particular made the sound a little bit darker for me. Let's try it up a little bit higher than it was initially. I'm just moving the ring a tiny little bit. You don't need to move it in large increments. I would suggest moving it just a tiny little bit, and a little goes a long way. I can put so much air through the instrument, especially with the ring in this position. It sounds incredible, and it just has a very open sound when putting it in this position. I would definitely need to put a little bit of time into seeing exactly what sounds best for me and this particular instrument. But like I said, you can hear a difference in the adjustment of this ring, depending on if it's a little bit lower or a little bit higher. So I would highly suggest, like I said before, and experiment and see what works best for you. Now let's test out the Beechwood ring. Now again, we want to loosen it slightly, not all the way, and we will place it on the flute on this end, right here, and then we can screw it on. Make sure that the screw is facing backwards, just like that. Now let's see how the Beechwood ring sounds. Immediately, I'm noticing, at least on this setup, on this flute, with my playing, it has a little bit more of a bite to the sound compared to the Walnut. I do love the sound of this one. It sounds incredible. Let me try moving this a little bit down and seeing what that does to the sound. Okay. I feel like that opened the sound up a lot for this instrument. Let's try moving it up slightly. I feel like this is a lot darker. So probably my preference would be a little bit lower on the head joint. Again, you will want to try this out and see what works best for you. Let me put it down here and I'll play a little bit more for you. Again, just like the Walnut, this helps bridge the gap between the registers, which is lovely. It makes me feel a lot more confident while playing. It's just so easy to make that interval. also gives the flute a really beautiful singing quality. Each of these two that I just demoed for you were so different. Like I said before, each one of these woods creates a very different, unique sound on your flute. So based on your flute and your playing style, you'll want to find the one that works best for you. Woodify rings are such a great product, and I would recommend them to all flutists. The Flute Center of New York is the exclusive US distributor of Woodify, and I will have both their website as well as Woodify's website linked below. Thank you so much for watching.